Mumbot, thank you for jumping on.
Thank you
We're
for having me.
excited again to see you and have you on for another interview and all kinds of stuff. You've been doing the most painstaking work lately of like trudging through a Kickstarter, getting all that stuff going. You brought the figure. So
Yeah.
maybe tell us about this figure and then kind of recap some of the feelings as we were going through the Kickstarter.
Yeah, sure. I mean, actually, I wanted to say thank you for giving me some motivational,
Of course.
words throughout the process, before the process.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Kickstarter, it's so amazing that it got fully funded, and we're just like extremely excited that we were able to recently, announce that the project is in production.
Yeah.
Production is live. Um, but yeah, it was kind of crazy because I know how hard a Kickstarter, like I've just from my friends who've done it, I know how hard it could be, like to in a third party way and as a backer of other projects. But it really the challenging like mindset, like the mindset is such a different thing.
Yeah.
I actually think that somehow I prepared myself to know that I'm gonna go through like an emotional roller coaster
Yeah.
during, because there's not one part of it that was ever easy from day one, and I never expected that. Even though there were like some people, so I had like all these different, outside noise. I want to call it noise, but there were voices telling me, like people, like literal people who are our friends or family or whoever supporters. There were most of the supporters were like, yes, let's make this happen.
Yeah.
But there were a few who were like, that is impossible, that's not gonna happen. Like, good luck,
Yeah.
And then there were some who were like, that's gonna be fully funded. That's gonna be great. And oddly enough, the ones that were like, it's impossible, were like, yeah, I'm gonna show them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like fuel. And I very much disliked the people who just thought it was going to get funded in like 5 minutes. I
Yeah.
just was like, please don't say that to me. Because I just know the reality. That's not
Yeah.
realistic. And I don't want to ever put myself in that mindset to just expect ever anything to be easy.
Yeah.
It's like, if something becomes easy, great.
Yeah.
But no, this was a grind every single day. I had to wake up early in the morning, like breakfast, coffee, straight to it, and do whatever it takes every single day, all day,
Yeah.
to get, like, I had little quotas I set for myself every day. Like, I'm gonna reach out to this many people at minimum, maximum being like, 200 people
Yeah.
or something. And I had like my assets that I had planned out throughout the week.
Mhm.
And I also was kind of like unapologetically like, this is my life. I'm balls to the walls on this.
Yeah.
You might get annoyed with me. Sorry, not sorry. Like, so that was all kind of part of the mindset that I had to take on. But then also, of course, there were those emotional roller coasters. There were times in the middle where I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
I don't know if this is gonna happen.
I think the hard part is people forget that its original IP is its own beast.
Mm,
And on top of that, the line of how things are funded through original IP is like that initial surge is crazy. That middle part is a lull, and then the back end surge like finishes the job.
mm.
And there's really no way to prepare for that except just saying like we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it's you did it and you did it well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that you just brought up that factor. I feel like that's another thing that isn't talked about enough, is original IP means that it's really you're sort of like limited to your circle of mostly people who either know you,
Yeah.
know your work, or, and then even smaller case of like who know deeper than that, like
Yeah.
the actual characters and everything. So yeah, if you have a larger well-known IP that's somehow mixed in, of course, that's like the hack that works. Like,
Yeah.
but like we, without having that, yeah, it was being very creative with like, all the different ways that I could think like
Yeah.
to make this thing happen,
Yeah.
including no one also talks about this. Weekends, like no weekends for me.
No.
There's no day off.
Mm-mm.
I know it's slower. Everyone said, oh, no one's really paying attention on weekends. I was like, well, means I need to go harder on weekends.
Right.
So.
And I mean, there is a science to all this stuff, and I think you cracked so much of it. That's a big part of when people have asked, like, how do I run a Kickstarter? I tell them, like, I did Ninja Turtles. Like, don't base it off of that.
Yeah.
Like, that market's already sustainable, already does its thing. When I run my own IP, then come talk to me about that.
Yeah.
And so I think you nailed every part of it. So tell us about the packaging and like this toy, because it's a long time coming.
Yes, it's been a long time coming. Like
Yeah.
we've been trying to make this happen for years. There, you know, I started off with the prototype back, just for context. Like I had a prototype that I was showing off in 2019.
Cool.
And that was just like a 3D printed one, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, we have here the factory vinyl painted
Beautiful
version, which you saw. It has the articulated legs.
Yeah.
I've shown it off a little bit on my Instagram. But yeah, it's quite nice as you got to feel.
Yeah.
The packaging, it has like an interior print, which you can't really see right now unless I open it up. Should I open it up?
Up to you.
Yeah, and then there's like spot gloss. It'll be slightly different from this because we're updating a few things now. Because this is like a proto packaging basically.
Which I love. I love when companies do that. Give me a glimpse of what it could look like before, and then we have this understanding that you're just working on it. Which is great.
This is my first time actually having something like this legit in terms of packaging.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited.
I think people forget too what goes into packaging, because so many of us do bag and header.
Yeah.
And then when you start to get into this, it's like multiple factories sometimes are involved, and designing a box is much different than designing a print, and there's so much that goes into it. So Mumbot, well done on a toy that is now successful.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Of course.
I can't wait to get her into everyone's hands in a couple of months. So.
Oh yeah, and the variants that were coming out, it was like, I want that one and that one and that.
Aww.
So they were all good.
Yay.
So that's
so glad you like them.
The cool part about the toy, that sometimes the variants fall flat, but yours did not come close.
Thank you.
The last part is you have to look down the barrel of your camera and say something encouraging or nice, or some kind of tip for other creators.
Okay. Believe in yourself and what you're passionate about, and make sure to nurture what you love.
Mumbot, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.